And I'm just really trying to like kind of put some colors where they need to be at. I think the cool part about this undering is my whites are gonna look better to a certain degree. Oh, do I have a big white here? Big white. Big white. Now I'm doing an outside border. Kind of just trying to narrow this in here using a lot of white paint. Shout out James Brandis. Really should probably be doing the bordering first, but I'm just gonna move up top here. Kind of just give myself some perspective. There's no rhyme or reason sometimes to the way I paint this. You gotta find what works for you. Another thing is oil paint expensive? Yeah, but is it fun? Absolutely. It's just so satisfying to, you know, get some oil paint and really just let the brush do the work. But let's talk about Shohei Ohtani. I'm not a Dodgers fan. I actually don't like the Dodgers. Jackie Robinson, I like Yamamoto. I think he is pretty cool to watch. He's a great pitcher, but that's just talent and greatness. It's like Freddie Freeman. You don't want to root for them. You don't want them to win, but they just are so fucking fun to watch. And it's upsetting. It's like the Warriors back in the day. You know, you just got to a point where you're like, okay, we've had enough, you know. I just can't have these whites touching because I'm not good enough of a painter to do the contrast too well, especially with just two separate whites. Now, and this reminds me of a book quote from Red Rising. If you're the hare, play the fox, and if you're the fox, play the hare. And I just kind of think you can take that to your own meaning, but play to your strengths. I really liked Red Rising, and it's very like Hunger Games novel type material, and I feel bad comparing him to that because it's different. It's really different. There's just like a Hunger Games type thing that happens that you have to keep in mind. Zoran Mondami, who feels like America's mayor, won the New York election, and this is kind of huge for a lot of reasons. You know, people might be mad at his democratic socialist, you know, methodology, but I will just say this is like, for me, he is probably the most charismatic leader that I've seen in politics since Obama, and he really kind of blows me away. Met his wife on Hinge. You know, I just feel like his grassroots campaign and not getting money from like Bill Ackman and stuff, that it goes a long way for people that are struggling to make a living wage, and especially in a city that is so glorious in every way. You know, people are gonna be like, oh, see you later, we're gonna leave New York. No one's leaving New York. All right, go leave New York then. Where are you going, Florida? You're going to Florida? You're gonna go to Miami? All right, I'll see you there, losers. Anyways, that's just kind of my thought process on it. I'm not trying to, you know, jump into the politics. It's not really the name of my game, but it's interesting. It's interesting to say the least, where our country's going and like what we're gonna do to kind of like where we're going. You know, Trump's very polarizing, and he just next time we get a used car salesman as our, you know, president, like it's just not gonna have me in the greatest mood. So that's where I'm at. Anyways, guys, how is everyone's day? Really? I'm doing the bordering right now. Clearly the face is gonna have to be kind of executed at a certain level. So we're gonna go easy, huh? For all my Michiganders that experience seasonal depression, it's a real thing, and you need to reach out to someone if you feel like you need to talk to someone about like mental, problems, whether that be depression or anxiety or just any of that stuff. Like, seriously, I think too many people are fighting demons we don't know about, and we don't see the warning signs until it's too late. So just take care of yourself, do stuff you love, and don't put so much pressure on yourself. My problem recently has been being on my phone too much. And I'm putting myself out there on social media just to, and it's hard. I mean, I think I had a really hard time with it when I first started, just kind of worrying about, again, what other people think. And you can't. You just gotta find love in the process. It's fun to create. And I think at the end of the day, that's what matters. Lonesome Dove is awesome. I'm only in the first, I think it's like an 800-page book. I'm in the first 100. And it's just, I can see why it won a Pulitzer Prize so far. Definitely preferring it to Blood Meridian. I think Blood Meridian is, it's brilliant. It's a brilliant book. It's Cormac McCarthy cooks in every element of that whole thing. But it's a little, it's dark, and it's so dark. I mean, just scalping Indians is dark. So, take the bitter with the sweet. If you want to feel complete. Bartending to salary, kind of a transition in my life. That's been big. It's been very, I've been under salary for about 3 months now. And it's strange. It's something I'm not used to. It's made me budget better because I'm on a, like a little 2-week instead of a 1-week thing. But also, it's just different. Like, I feel like I'm not always so obvious with what my next move is compared to like bartending. You have to go to that next customer. So, making the work for yourself is just, it's a struggle sometimes, but I'm learning a lot. And I think I'm starting to carry myself in a little better way. And, just be big on reputation and that kind of thing. So I would just say it's been a transition. Oh, it's close. But I'm adding stuff to his face. I need to get better at skin tone, and that's something I gotta work on. But let's reprieve. We'll be back. And what's crazy is if you talk to any baseball fan, I would say that, like, unless you're from, like, or you have LA ties, you're pretty much disliking Dodgers and Yankees. Especially if you're a small market team like myself, you're like, I can't mess with the big dogs. But can't deny that they had a great World Series, and just, they're an awesome team to watch. Oh my, what are these cats doing, man? If they see my boy, I'm gonna have to go out and protect him. Pond is out and about outside right now, and I'm just keeping an eye on these cats because they're up to no good. You know what that means? It means I gotta go stop it. Dr. Pibb is making a comeback. No ad. It's not an ad. Do I think I probably gotta cut down my diet beverage consumption? Absolutely. But will I? I don't know. Of course, AI has been in the news so much, and it's kind of scary to think about because, again, The Matrix is one of my favorite movies of all time, and it has a real interesting way of looking at like artificial intelligence, like as how humans are like used as fuel. I don't think we're, in some degree, yes, but I'm more scared of, I think there should be regulation, of course, because, you know, there's that article about the kid that committed suicide because ChatGPT basically didn't shut it down, but just kind of confirmed ideas. And I think South Park did a really good job with their AI episode. where they're kind of like, you know, it's just like, it kind of reaffirms what you want to hear. And I think that's not always, you gotta kind of go out and figure stuff out for yourself. And now I'm starting to show my age because that's like the good old days. But, you know, at the same time, it's so important that you develop your own opinion and you don't get reaffirmed by a computer. Especially like, I just remember when I was younger, like hearing about computer science people like being like, oh, that's a guaranteed job. And now it really isn't. Like, and that's scary too. I mean, you have to really, again, find a pivot in some sort of shape or form to kind of focus in on. Back to the Dodgers. Just the fact that Shohei Ohtani exists in this world is pretty incredible that we get to see him at this time. You know, I don't know where baseball's gonna go in 20 years, but it's just the fact that we have a player who's winning MVPs constantly. He is constantly kind and caring to fans and his teammates. I think I could use a bigger brush, but I really kind of like the effect that a small brush has sometimes, where it feels a lot more Van Gogh-y. Here's a question for all my viewers: is if you have kids, and if you were to have kids, maybe this just goes out to everyone that might consider it. When are you gonna let them be on a phone? Because they're important. They're important to our society, especially now. I just feel like with scary stuff happening, you know, at schools and whatnot, it's like you want to know where your kid's at, but at the same time, it's like, well, you don't want to. I mean, what do you maybe just put a tracker on them? Back. Okay, so we're basically finishing our Shohei painting. Let's get it in on this guy here. Okay, look at him. You know, it's honestly kind of looks, you know, he kind of looks like a Pokemon character, like Brock or some shit. But does that make it any more exciting? It does, man. It does. Okay, let's zoom it out. I watched Wicked, which I've already gotten my fair share of hate for not being the biggest fan on. You know what's the big app? TikTok. I think Ariana and Cynthia are just like absolutely incredible in the role. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm taking away from this. What I am taking away is it looks like garbage. Aesthetically, I was not a fan of it because the colors, I just don't like that it looks the same as the hat. It doesn't make any sense. And see how I'm kind of working fast here? I think sometimes, you know, if you're gonna go messy, you might as well commit to it. I mean, come on. Shohei Ohtani, the legend, in oil paint. You know, return form kind of for me. Oil takes a lot of work, and this felt pretty good. So I just, you know, it's not my best in the book, but perfectionists never get anywhere, so I'm gonna move on. It's been good painting in the studio. First painting I finished as a 25-year-old, so feeling kind of old. I know anyone that's older than 30 is gonna get all mad at me, but I'm just, you know, it's my experience. You can't compare. It's like when people offer solutions to people's problems and then they don't do it themselves. So, just a little insight of my book. Keep your head up. Seasonal depression is real for all our Midwesterners. Get outside, try to stay off the phone. I have a hard time doing it. So, yeah, this has been another Painting with Sam. I gotta come at you with another video soon. But, until then, take care of yourself. Peace out.